Holy fuck, did that 3v3 video catch me some hate. People telling me to shut the fuck up. 1,800 players don't know what they're talking about. That they were taking their subs and going home. But let me lay out the problems of PvP and where it's at right now. And I'm also going to give you all the solutions you need. It's easy. It's no problem. I'm happy to do it. So let's get this handled. So just real quick, I've never mentioned subs and I never fucking will again because I don't know. That's not me. I'm not really chasing an algorithm here. Okay. You've never seen me ask for you to sub in my videos. I don't know if you should. I mean, maybe I get how YouTube works. Sometimes you like one thing someone did, but you don't really care for all the content. Sometimes things kind of come and go in seasons, like, you're playing WoW, so you're subscribed to WoW shit. Then when you're not, I don't know. I don't know where you're at. I don't know if it's a good idea. It helps me out, but I get it. If you've got better shit or you've got other things going on or my shit doesn't land with you, I get it. There's a lot of shit on YouTube that doesn't land with me. Okay, but I'm not going to be chasing algorithms and shit. I'm not going to come up with some cowboy voice, Oklahoma here. We're going to wrestle this up some hordes. Fuck that. I'm not going to put my face on a thumbnail with my mouth wide open looking like I'm getting a prostate exam. I'm just here to have fun and make kick-ass videos. That's all I know. I so appreciate you motherfuckers leaving the nicest compliments on some 400 sub guy's channel. Just thank you so much. It's really encouraging. And it's making this a lot of fun, a little addicting. This is Xunamate, just an amazing website to get your finger on the pulse of the current state of rated PvP. And there seems to be a lot of motherfuckers that need to see this information and really get a grip on what's going on in the rated PvP scene in the World of Warcraft right now. So this first chart is total games tracked. I'll go ahead and we'll start the first data point they have, and this is games played in a day, and it excludes Shuffle. I have some things that kind of indicate how successful Shuffle is compared to these other game modes. But for right now, let's stay focused on these. So right there you can see, and I'll put the numbers up nice and big. In case you're closer to my age, you don't have to go grab your glasses. And again, this is on this website. Remember, this is up here. You can change it. This is American participation. So let's see what it is. So on December 30th in EU, that was their highest peak. But back to North America, and we'll go back and forth to paint a real clear picture because you're going to kind of see the same pattern on both sides of the lake here. Now, you see these plummets, right? And these look rather dramatic, but these actually can be explained. Like January 1st, I mean, this was a big holiday, right? You got New Year's and stuff, people going back to work and all. So this kind of explains. The expansion's been out about a month now. So some people, there's always those 30-dayers and then they're out, right? So it tapers off. So now, let's come down here to January 14th. This is last month. Look, you can already see the trend. 3v3's hanging in there, right? RBG's doing okay. But look at 2s. From 21 down to 8,000 daily games. Okay, so 2s are really plummeting at this point. Then if you keep coming down here, right, they keep going down. Matter of fact, everything, as you can see, keeps going down. Now, this was last weekend. I'm filming this on Monday night. So this is yesterday on when I'm filming this. Look at that number. Look at that 2v2 number. Why is the 2v2 number down? Well, there's two reasons. Number one is because class balance is absolutely fucking atrocious. And if you're not a disc priest and you're not an assassination rogue or arms warrior, you really don't want to be in 2s. Maybe Resto Druid's doing okay. But aside from that, no one else is really having a good time. And the other obvious part of it is that you get to dodge the looking. By using solo shuffle, you get to dodge all that looking for group drama. 2v2 is dead as fuck. It's no problem. I've got the perfect solution. I'm going to save it. Don't you worry, you 2v2 lovers. St. Oklahoma's going to take care of your little sweet ass. I got you. But let me keep laying this out so that we're all on the same page. These 3v3 numbers make it seem like it's kind of still hanging in there. But these are total games tracked in a day. And we have no idea. And I don't think some insignificant number of these are boosts and carries and just ults of guys that play this game non-fucking stop. I mean, this game has a pretty dedicated, hardcore community that just play a lot of arena every night. And they're crushing out a lot of games. So I don't know how many of that 18,000 are actually new healers and new DPS really trying to get into 3s. I don't know. And the same with RBGs at the highest. I mean, there's a ton of boosting and shit going on. And again, a lot of those RBGs are YOLO groups too. So how many of those are new RBG teams really trying to form up and push? I don't think so. And we can all see that they're drastically dropping from, I mean, even in a month, look, like over half from the 28th to now. Just unbelievable. Now, the good news is solo shuffle's kicking ass, right? But for how much longer? Because $15 a month to solo shuffle is cool, but the 10.07 changes have a lot of people concerned. They're not excited about them. Oh, and just for good measure real quick, let me show you over on the EU. This is EU on December 30th. There's the numbers. Okay, and now look. All the way here, this is yesterday for them, which is crazy because EU participation used to be through the roof compared to NA. Biggest reasons I think these numbers are concerning are, number one, just historically the numbers go down over time anyway. So if you're already dropped this low in 2 months and you're expecting this expansion to have legs for what, through the end of the year, you might want to consider making some moves. The other thing that's the most concerning to me is that, you know, people play a lot of other games now. And there's a lot of other games that are going to come out. So you're not the new kid on the block. These are the numbers when you're the new kid on the block. But I told you all, I thought they were overselling this. I thought the dragon riding and the mythic plush, you know, I thought it was packaged up nice, but I didn't think it would have the legs. I said that. Well, here we are 2 or 3 months later, and Dragon's Flight's losing that love and feeling, at least for thousands of people it is, because a lot less of them are playing, it looks like. And no matter if they're playing less or not, a lot less of them are queuing in 3v3 and 2v2 and RBG. So how are you going to get those numbers up when historically you never have? So, I mean, you can count on people coming back for the patches, right? You'll get a nice spike for the patch for 2 weeks, maybe a month, if it's an awesome patch. I mean, there's just a gaming cycle now, right? People play your game for a little bit and they're off. I play a lot of other games, and I plan to start incorporating a lot of those other games on my channel soon. But I'm always and will always be putting out WoW content because I'm an addict. So I think $15 a month for solo shuffle, I can do that. But that's about all I'm doing. Oh, and just real quick on Mythic Plus, I'll tell you the problem with Mythic Plus very easily. People don't want to have to play a game, as Simon says, while they're killing a boss. There you go. The other part of this that's really fucking this up, and I've only said it in a few of all my videos, is balance, balance, balance. This is spec representation in the last week. We'll go 3v3. Well, first off, I'll show you why 2v2 is dead. Here's another reason why 2v2 is dead as fuck. Now, this is North American servers right now. Look at the spec representation. 34% of the games played this week were played by assassination rogues. So 55, 56% of the latter is just assassination rogues and arms with disc priests healing them. Okay, let's slide over to EU real quick, and you'll see that it even, look, pretty much the same. They go more rogues, and there's a lot more hunters playing. They got a lot more hunters over there, but still, disc with Resto hanging in there. Get some Mistweavers. Look at my holies. Just know that you're the bravest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. And I'm so fucking proud of you. Send rogues and arms warriors with their disc priests and restoration buddies. Going at it over and over. That's it. That's all 2v2 is right now. It's just a problem, right? And problems have solutions. So let's not get too worked up like I do. Okay, so here's the 3v3. And let's be very chill and accurate, because the Twitchies and the Streamies get very upset when you talk about their beloved 3v3. So here we go. Let's start over here with the DPS. Right back here at the top, Arms Warriors. Okay, there's more Arms Warriors than the next two classes combined almost. Welcome back to the top. You guys weren't gone long. And over here, healers. And this is what you really need, right? This is the bottleneck of getting teams. People are always looking for healers. Well, this is why. Because unless you play a disc priest, it sucks. So over here at the EU, assassination arms, pretty equal. Havoc drops off a lot. Look over here. This is interesting. In ranged, a lot more hunters over on the EU. 47.81%, almost 50% of the bracket in 3v3 in the EU is Disc Priest. And look how few of the other healers down here, especially when you get past Resto Druid. Look at these numbers. No one wants to play these healers into these healers. In a game where you need a bunch of new healers, this is a real problem. And could I just say, I think you guys should leave Resto Druids the fuck alone. They don't want you fucking with their tree. I think Resto Druids are good where they're at. You should bring everybody up to about where Resto is. Disc is just too fucking easy with double paints up and the damage. It just needs to be toned down, but it doesn't need to be butchered. But Resto Druid, I don't know why you're fucking with Resto Druid. And just to be thorough, here's RBG's talking about, you know what's crazy after I've shown you all these numbers? Look here. Look, 45% preservation. Look at the other healers. Okay, look at Warlocks, Balanced Druids, Ellies. All that. Got some marksmans in here. Look at poor mages. Oh, shit. Oh, no. And then over here in the melee department, got your Havocs and shit. Look, 3,000 Havocs. I mean, the numbers are just, the difference between the top and the best classes and the other ones is just crazy. 4,273 Prez, 228 Holies. Whoever these Holy Paladins are, you deserve a title. I'd give you one. And now you've seen all these numbers. And you know what's the craziest about this? If you go to the World of Warcraft forums or like the World of PvP subreddit, there is not some small number of fucking idiots out there saying that actually PvP is pretty balanced right now. I don't know what you do with people that stupid, but just be careful, okay? I don't want you guys getting hurt out there. And so you can definitely tell that people are going to play what's easiest to get performance out of. That is just a fact of PvP. That they're going to pound havoc down your throat. And the second you nerf this, you watch next season with these ret changes coming, you remember this is going to be a lot higher. Going to be a lot more of these, I promise you that. Okay, because you know they're going to make ret completely over fucking powered at first. And that's how they're going to get, because they want people to come back to the game and try it. Okay, just hang in there. This is the last thing I want to point out. But if you're interested in seeing how much better Shuffle is and how much more active Shuffle is, basically this scans for games being played in each mode every few hours, right? So it's just trying to pick up and get a guesstimate about how active each game mode is. Look at the difference here. So what this should tell you is solo shuffle is all that matters. And Blizzard, all that Blizzard should be focused on. All these other game modes combined don't even touch the activity that solo shuffle's getting. And I think the popularity of solo shuffle really gets diminished. I see a lot of the high-ranked players saying it's just for casuals and people that are real high in solo shuffle suck at threes. I think that's very true. I mean, I think it's probably obviously true. I think, though, that it also needs to be coupled with the fact that no one gives a fuck about threes. The miracle of solo shuffle, right, is that you get to bypass all that looking for group shit. Diversity is way better in solo shuffle. You're going to play way more specs and different specs game to game rather than just queue into Disc Priests, Rogues, and Warriors all night. But also, aside from just the obvious, hugely more popular game mode, and the fact that you don't have to deal with LFG and you get way better diversity, the most important thing that solo shuffle does, and I don't know why every Twitchy and streamer isn't talking about this. I haven't heard anyone mention it, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but the most important thing solo shuffle does is that it protects young and learning players from high-ranked players and all their services they're providing, all their boosting and carries. If you don't know what that is, basically what happens, what a lot of, not all, but what a lot of high-ranked players like to do is once they get their guy all set up and got their big fancy number, okay, they go make an ult. And then what they do is they find someone who's not very good at PvP, and in exchange for either some type of currency like cash or in-game gold, or for, views on their stream or whatever, what they do is they queue up with this bad player, and then they destroy players who are trying to learn and don't have thousands of fucking hours to play WoW every day until they get that bad person up to the rating and title that they bought and don't deserve. This practice has gone on for a long, long time in this game. You want to see, you can just, you go look right now at any pre-made arena or whatever. There's people selling these services right now. I think it sucks. I think it's some weak shit, but, and look, I'm a realist. You want to do carries and shit, that's fine. But enter the miracle of solo shuffle, right? Because the miracle that solo shuffle, and it doesn't get any credit for this, but the greatest service solo shuffle provides is it protects new and casual players from being farmed by the sweaties and the twitchies for services. Okay, this shit has gone on for fucking years and it's terrible. You should not let the players who play this game for or like a job shit on people that are trying to learn it. And solo shuffle will at least prevent some of that. So long live solo shuffle. But that's enough of the negativity. All problems are made to be solved. So what do you need to do and what changes need to be made to right this ship and get things back to functioning so that we get new players coming in here to play the game and we can grow this community again? Here's my ideas. So let's start with 2v2 because as I showed you, it's completely dead. And this is easy. This is an easy fix. So what we do is we get rid of the LFG system, right? And we make a solo shuffle 2v2 that you can just queue into. Just copy it from solo shuffle 3s. Just make it 2v2. And here's the deal, right? Here's the catch. Double DPS only. That's right. No healers allowed. This is important for two reasons. The first one is it's not DPS players' fault that Blizzard fails to incentivize and balance their healers in a way that gets people to play that role. Okay, DPS shouldn't have to pay $15 a month to sit in a 30-minute queue because Blizzard can't get people to heal in their game. That's not their fault. They want to play a DPS, they should be able to. Now, immediately the problem is, right, is that you don't balance for twos, and some classes are going to just be better at twos. Think Rogue Mage, right? So the solution there is the rankings have to basically come down to like Diablo 3 rankings, where you just rank each class and spec against itself. So you aren't ranked against everyone on the ladder. You're only ranked against other players of your class and spec. That way, if there are classes and specs that suck a little more, they'll still get the rewards and stuff that the high-rated players get, because then it just becomes about, well, how high can you push that spec, right? And then it kind of gives those tryhards something to do because, hey, everybody can push X class, but can you push Y class, right? And that's all it becomes. And this is the most important part, is because everyone always talks about getting more healers, and more healers, right? But do you know where most healers in WoW come from? Most of my friends that heal, and myself included in this, we were former DPS players. And once you get comfortable doing that, you get a little swagger. Then you tried healing out or tanking out or whatever, and then the hook gets put in you. That's how it happens. If you leveled a Holy Paladin to 70, geared it up, got it all geared up to enter solo shuffle, and you went in there and you played one round as a new player, you're deleting this game immediately. Most of your healers come from DPS players. So we need a ton more of DPS players. And having a game mode where they can just get in there and queue and have some fun and just look, make it, hey, look, you're ranked against your own spec. We don't balance this, but it's just a way for you to get in there and you guys to bang heads, learn your class and figure it out. Keep it the casual game mode, give it its own rewards and stuff. It's great. It could be a lot of fun. But these DPS can't be waiting in 30 to 45 minute queues all the time. I want to give a little shout out to the true winners of Solo Shuffle, the wives and girlfriends of WoW players. You've had yourself a little chore-doing motherfucker sitting in these 30, 40-minute queues, haven't you? You know what we need? This is something Solo Shuffle needs so bad. It needs a queue buzzer. You know how at a restaurant, when your table's ready, they give you that little pager buzzer thing and it lights up and buzzes and shit? You need that. Make it part of the WoW app, right? You're out there folding laundry, making nuggets for the kids, and then bzzz, time to go, big guy. That way these guys don't have to turn their speakers up and all the other crazy shit they're doing, trying not to miss their cue. God, I would love to see what some contraptions you've come up with. And to all my brothers out there knocking out your honeydews, keep it up, cowboy. You're doing good. 3v3 is the easiest fix, right? All we have to do with 3v3 is just leave it there for all the boosters, twitchies, streamies, sweaties, whatever you want to call them. Just leave it there for those hardcore guys, right? That love to boost and carry and shit on new players for views. Just leave that magical world that they've created to them, right? And make sure we give them out, because I didn't recognize this about this community, but while I was doing some homework, I mean, I thought I loved my fucking pony, but I had no idea. Okay, so make sure we give the 3v3 guys a mount. Hell, give it to them at 1200. Everybody that plays 3v3 to 1200 gets a mount, because no one gives a shit when you get it now. I have no idea whether you actually earned your mount or you bought a booster carry. So it doesn't matter. And these guys are very concerned about mounts. They talk about them a lot. So make sure we get these 3v3 guys some mounts. We can also give them some cool titles and like transmog shit, right? And we'll tell them how awesome they are. You know, we'll even host a tournament. Let's host a tournament for these guys that nobody watches. But the important thing with 3v3 is we leave it exactly how the World of Warcraft arena community made it. And they can sit in there and boost and carry and just play each other over and over at 1500 while they talk down to solo shufflers and say, you know, you would never make it in our magic little world. So Battleground solution is obvious, right? We need a Battleground Shuffle. Now, whether you make that 10v10 or 6v6 or however you want to implement that, there's a lot of debate. I'd like to see a full 10v10, just like ranked BGs, but I've seen some decent arguments for 6v6. Maybe let ranked RBGs be 10v10 and let Battleground Shuffle be 6v6. I don't know. There's a lot of ways you could do it. I think they should just make it a full 10 on 10. I know people are going to say they can't, they shouldn't, They said all the same shit about solo shuffle, and here we are. I do think there are going to be some important rules to implement in a Battleground Shuffle to keep it awesome. So Battleground Shuffle is the obvious next step. I just want to put 2 rules in place I think they should follow to make it and make sure that it's awesome. The first one is make sure it's solo queue. Don't let duos or trios queue together, because what happens is a group of assholes likes to queue up and troll everybody in there like they're better because they got their little clique in there. Fuck that. I've played enough League of Legends to know how that works. I'll pass. Also, the second you let a lot of other people start queuing together and shit, here come all the boosting services. The other thing, and I think this is just as big as, you know, keeping it solo, is make the rewards accessible for most people. Okay, let them get the cool sword, let them get the T-Mog. Now, you don't have to hand it out for free, but like gladiator mounts, the only people that get gladiator mounts are the people that put in the time. The hundreds, if not thousands of hours it takes to find a team and play over and over again to beat the best people in the game to get a mount. Very few people are signing up to do that, if you haven't noticed. So the T-Mogs, the cosmetics, the mounts, all that shit, it's awesome. I love that shit. But you got to make it accessible to the average player. And I don't know what that is, and I don't know what that looks like because I don't have the numbers in front of me. But you do. Figure that shit out. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a few rewards out there for the people that really want to push it, or those people that want to level 1 of everything or whatever. There's nothing wrong with those kind of rewards. Just keep them reasonable. Didn't I tell you I was going to make everything fucking awesome? You're telling me you wouldn't be happy with your solo shuffle Q buzzer? Your BG shuffle? And look, we're even leaving 3v3 for all the boosters and all those motherfuckers. They love that shit. Everybody would be happy. And that's what I want. I do it for you, family. Thanks for watching. Oklahoma out.